afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. My name's Katie O, and this is Moon Musings. Welcome back to my living room for another astrology people for today, the 9th of October 2021, in a waxing crescent moon that will transit from the sign of Scorpio over to the sign of Sagittarius. Excuse me, at 22:24 Bangkok time. My friends, the moon is in fire and the sun is in air. All right, today is going to be a bit of a challenger. Now, the sun in air sign, the sun in Libra brings us a little bit more of a fluid sense of self that has a little bit more compassion for the circumstances that we have withstood. And this is being ignited by our subconscious right now, and we're feeling a certain way about it, okay? Moon in Sagittarius. All right, this moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the sign of the collective. It is a fire sign. It's about direction. It's about moving forward. It's about passion in your gut to propel you, which can be a great thing. But if you blow, you need to be delicate when fanning the flames, right? Because they can get out of hand really easily. If you put your face too close to the fire while you're blowing, you might get burnt. So there is an energy of, it's a bit of a warning to those flames today, to be honest with you. There's a few things going on that just makes I'm almost getting this false sense of security that they're trying to tell us to be wary of. Yeah. There's a false sense of security. That's what I'm getting here. Sorry, I have to take notes of this. I'm hearing, for some of you, don't rely on the collective so much. Don't rely on the group so much. What you're going to do will be individually for you, and you will know what you should do. Don't just follow what everybody else is saying today. There's something about that. It's like you're feeling like you're secure in numbers, that you should do what the other people are doing that are doing the same thing as you. But in fact, they're urging you to not take that route today. It's really important. They want you to pave your own path. It will benefit you, even if it doesn't look like it. I didn't even have that in my notes. That was just literally just now they pulled that up. All right, let's talk about the aspects. We got 4 today. So first and foremost, the moon is in a trine with Neptune. Neptune is retrograde in the sign of Pisces, which makes it the scary soothsayer from Game of Thrones. Or not from Game of Thrones, sorry, from Vikings. You know, they're like the one with the blue lips and it's like super freaking creepy. Yeah. They totally know what they're talking about, but they are terrifying. It's kind of like the House of the Undying from Game of Thrones. That's what I was looking for. Is they're like, they do have some magical properties, but they can be really it can be deceitful. Okay. Maybe that's more of the vibe. It's the House of the Undying today. It's like, they are soothsayers, but we maybe shouldn't believe everything that they say. Okay. Prophecy comes true lately. Prophecies has been coming true. A lot of prophecy has been coming true. So that we can continue our expansion. With the trine is a lucky expansive energy. The moon in Sagittarius, right? Is these prophecies, these dreams, these whatever we're doing can be really, it's helping us grow this emotional body and this subconscious sense of self that we've been working for. And we've been doing it with a group, I'm hearing, especially with this moon in Sag. We've been doing it alongside the group, okay? A trine is an expansive and lucky energy, so we can be we can be having chance encounters, whether in our dreams or in real life, a lot lately, but they're saying that just because there has been really good Neptunian energy in the recent past doesn't mean that it always is that way. Doesn't mean that it's always that way. Neptune, when does Neptune come out of retrograde? I don't have notes about it yet. I've got to keep on. Yeah, it'll be sometime in November, I believe. So Neptune is not out of retrograde yet. But just because this Neptunian energy has helped us from time to time lately, I'm going to be very wary of it right now. Be very wary of it right now. You feel like it's going to help you expand and grow like it has been before, but this is a test. This is a test. There is a test going on right now. Let's keep on going. The moon is squaring Jupiter. So we're feeling a certain type of way today. Especially in the beginning phases of today, I'm hearing, with the fact that the moon is still in Scorpio and then it goes to Sagittarius. I feel like the beginning of the day, before the transit of Sag into Sag, we might be feeling a certain type of way. Yeah. A square, it's an obstacle. Yeah, it's a challenging energy. We know that we should be grateful, right? We know that we aren't in it alone, Moon Sagittarius. But we still feel like that we're on a crazy train and it's just getting away from us. Runaway train tearing up the tracks. Runaway train never coming back. Feels like I should be getting somewhere. Is there anything else in those lyrics? No, I can't remember any of the lyrics. Runaway train tearing up the tracks. All right, yeah, we really do feel like it's starting to get away from us. It's like the train has been going in its own regard, and we've been feeling all right of it, but it's starting to get away from us, and we're starting to feel really uncomfortable with the motion that's going on. Things have been happening fast for us lately. Lots of big, quick developments. Energy shifts fast. Energy is pushing us quickly. We see this light at the end of the tunnel, but it's almost like we're like, oh my God, is this train gonna like lose the tracks and smash into the walls of this tunnel? Will this tunnel cave in before we even get to the outside world again? It's really, really confusing energy. Yeah. Very, very intense. Especially, I mean, Jupiter is retrograde in this. It's about to come out of retrograde, but it's still retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, which means that it's expanding ourselves, it's growing stuff, but in new, innovative ways, right? And I mean, like I've mentioned this before, is when somebody has a new idea, they're inevitably going to be met with scrutiny because people will doubt their new idea, right? Christopher Columbus, people were like, no, the Earth's flat. You're going to fall off the edge if you go and sail off in that direction. So yeah, a lot of people thought he was crazy when he left port, but he ended up finding the Americas. All right, so his vulnerability actually brought him in an amazing direction, brought him to adventure, and brought him to, I mean, yeah, okay, it can be arguable whether or not it was a good course of action for history, because let's be honest, there was a lot of pain and suffering by the colonization, but I mean, it expanded people's horizons. Maybe not in the best way, but it did expand them. So maybe this is the energy right now, is that Jupiter is it's making us do things that we're like, my God, this is a double-edged sword, right? We've been talking about that a lot lately. This is going to cause a lot of discomfort, but in the end, it will provide opportunities for more expansion and more adventure. But we are feeling a certain type of way about it. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. We really are not feeling like we've got our feet on, where it's like we're yeah, we don't like this. We don't like this energy very much. Yeah, the dreams might be fucking with us right now. I'm not gonna lie. Dreams could really be messing you up. You could be dreaming one day that your basement's flooding, and the next day that your house is being, like you're expanding your house into the most beautiful, glorious mansion you've ever wanted to, and everything is going your way. You could literally be having conflicting dreams. One day you dream that your husband is cheating on you. The next day you're dreaming that you're having a child. One day you dream that you're getting the most beautiful promotion at work. The next day you're dreaming that you're being fired. It's really... But we do have I've got a little bit of encouragement for you here. The moon is sextiling Pluto. Pluto is direct now. So Pluto is the general standing back and going, look, these are the directives. I'm giving you the things, but I'm not going down there. I'm sorry. I'm not going to come bail you out this time. I'm not going to push you along. I'm not going to hold your hand. Pluto considers our actions right now, since the actions that we've been taking since it left its retrograde motion, since it went direct, since it left us to our own devices. And it's actually pleased with our progress. The sextile is a supportive, passive energy. So no, it's not coming to interfere anymore, but it's like, yep, A-okay, you're doing well. Okay, fist bump. Patty high five for some of you that are divers. So I get the imagery of it's like your mom's dropping you off on the first day of school. She's sitting in the car. You're in high school. She's done this loads of times. It's not like kindergarten where she like brings you right up to the teacher and puts your hand in the hand of the teacher and like sends you off, right? No. You've had many first days of school at this point, and mom stays in the car when she drops you off. But you still have that moment where you're halfway to the door and you stop and you turn around just for reassurance, and she's like, go on. You can do it. You're fine. You've done this before. Go on. And that's what Pluto's doing right now. It's literally, they're still in the car, and mom is going, I don't know why I still have to do this, but go on, you're doing great. I love you. Mommy loves you. You can do it. Yeah. Maybe we're looking to, maybe our inner feminines need to just nurture us to give us a little bit of confirmation that we are on the right track right now. Maybe some of you just need to call your mom. Maybe you got to call your mom. Say, Mom, I'm having a bad day, and she will tell you all the reasons why you're amazing. Last but not least, we have the sun in conjunction with Mercury in retrograde. And this kind of brings me all the way back to sort of this idea that we're feeling a certain way. So Mercury retrograde might be telling us half-baked ideas right now, half-baked stories, to try and trigger the ego. Okay? Mercury in retrograde is playing invasion of the body snatchers with the sun, which is our sense of self. Mercury retrograde sometimes brings up the past and the old ways that we looked at things that were unhealthy, so that we get some perspective of, wow, I've changed so much, right? And that's what they're doing right now. Mercury retrograde is bringing something from your past and throwing it in your face and going, how do you deal with it now? And mom is going, go on. And you're like, this is your reassurance. You're doing great. You're doing fine. Yes, it might not feel that way, but you've just got to keep trucking through. And the biggest thing right now is with this particular sun conjunct Mercury retrograde, I'm being called to give you our standard Mercury retrograde warnings, is be careful to believe falsities. Be careful of making hasty decisions. Be careful of not having backup plans today. Do not rely on your technology. If you work online, have a backup internet source. If you're traveling somewhere, make sure that you have a plan A through Z. Okay, not just in plan A, B, C, plan A through Z. Mercury retrograde vibes can be fucking hardcore, okay? So do not be hasty today. Do not act impulsively today. Do not trust that your first plan will work. Make backup plans and have a sounding board. All right, have something nearby that can check you if your ego is getting too triggered by these Mercury retrograde things that they're throwing in your face. Because look, I'm telling you, this can be triggering. This can be extremely triggering. Extremely triggering. All right, so if you feel triggered, make sure you've got that beautiful feminine energy near you to sort of help reassure you. All right, and look for it in the right place. Okay, so like I'm hearing some of you guys have feminines around you, but not all of them are suited to give you this advice. Some of them they simply just don't understand what you're going through. So like I'm hearing some of you guys have a group of friends, some of them being females, and you do go to them for advice. And yes, they do have a time and a place that they give you really good advice. But with regards to this, they're not on the same page as you. They've not done the same healing as you, and they don't understand exactly what's going on within you. So unfortunately, you cannot look to them for advice. But there's somebody else in your field that maybe you see as, excuse me, you see as a mentor in a certain way, but you're always reluctant to bother them or something. This is the time where you just need to swallow your pride and go and ask that person, because they actually know what they're talking about, even if it's scary. If you do need that sense of assurance, or maybe even just conjuring up the memory of the lessons that your teachers have given you is going to help you. But be careful with who you ask for. You are going to know which feminine energy is going to be appropriate to give you the advice that you need for today. Okay, I'm using the Angelarium Oracle of Emanations. This is a really Kabbalah, very Metatron kind of deck, and it's really lovely. We have Netza, the right leg, endurance. Okay. This feels like we've got the weight of the world on our shoulders today, okay? Endurance. But we're being called, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So we need to continue being strong. We need to continue enduring. We need to continue pushing forward. We need to continue carrying this weight, because we are going to be rewarded. Even if we feel like look, he kind of looks like a skeleton here. Even if we feel like we're wasting away, like there's not much left of us to hold up this burden. If we feel like the waters are rising, yeah, the floods are coming. We feel like we're going to be drowned. We feel like we're not going to be able to breathe. We feel like we're going to be held down or stopped from the creative, beautiful, expansive, wanderlusty kind of energy that we like to be in. There's just saying, keep on going for a little bit longer. Just keep on going for a little bit longer. This flash flood is temporary. The waters will recede very soon. But you've got to hold your weight right now. You've got to do your own work. Remember, Mom's in the car going, go on, go on. I'm being called to just look at this. We want to read this. The seventh emanation, the force that resists. Stalwart in the face of adversity, this great leader carries us forth through our darkest times. Netza has the strength to endure, regardless of the suffering that we feel. When we feel we have reached our limits, and yet new strength continues to emerge, we find and embrace Netza. With any increase in force, he too grows stronger. Each challenge is met with equal vigor. The green orb is both the weight of the boulder upon our shoulders and the strength needed to carry it. There's an equal and opposite force going on right now, I'm hearing. Excuse you, pig. Supporting the pillar of mercy, Netza is the closest we get to the base of the tree before merging back to the middle. His station is one of constant stress and strain, supporting the weight of the tree by pressing back upward against it. It's found in victory, exercise, and leadership. Keep on holding your strength, okay? Remember, this is the hardest, this is the darkest before the dawn. This is the part of the tree that holds the rest of it up, so it's constantly in a state of strain, right? But before it comes back to the middle, before it comes and finds its balance, before it finds its counterpart, before it comes back to things that are meant for it, it's like, have you ever done, like, I once participated in a Stein holding competition at an Oktoberfest back home. And I can tell you the last couple of seconds were the hardest part. Like, I literally thought my arm was going to fall off right towards the end, right? But I powered through and I ended up doing very well in that competition. I'm not going to lie. I may look little, but I've got some swords of strength to me. All right, let's see. Completion and read. I'm hearing the library is open because reading is what? Fundamental. Okay? There is something that's going to tear you a new butthole. Something is going to come and read the shit out of you. Okay? But when that happens, that's the completion of a cycle. You're going to know that something has ended in order for something else to begin. All right? The library will be closed for good once that happens. With this person, with this job, with this situation, with whatever it is. Maybe it's you. Maybe this person has to come forward to you, and if they have treated you in a certain way, maybe this is going to be your opportunity to speak a piece of your mind, and it will lead to the end of this unhealthy cycle. Separate and detachment. Some of you guys, this is going to be a permanent ending for something. And I'm hearing it's not what you expect. Some of you guys are going, oh my God, I've been struggling. My girlfriend and I have been fighting. Okay, and oh my God, you're telling me it's going to be the end of it forever. Look, maybe it will, or maybe it's just the end of your strife and you're going to end up proposing to her. Whatever this is, okay, but there is some sort of a division, and there's going to be the scissors come out now. Are you cutting out the division itself? Are you stopping the separation, or are you cutting someone out for good? That's going to be up to you. Okay, that's going to be totally up to you. We have free will, right? Sometimes things happen, for a reason, so that we learn a lesson. And there's part of the soul contracts that there has to be amends made. The thing is sometimes it takes so long for that to get to that point that the parties get to a state, or at least one of the parties maybe, get to the state where they're like, I don't even want to deal with this person anymore. But it's super important for the soul purpose for that these two entities come together again so that there is that's it, that's all, some sort of closure. All right? So maybe you do have to hear out this person that's treated you wrong, or maybe you do need to go speak to this person that you've treated wrong and you thought you could get away with not giving them an apology, but it's just burning inside of you and you feel the need to go and explain that to them. Or vice versa, maybe somebody calls you and says, I really need to talk to you, and you've been blowing them off. And you're like, I don't want to talk to this person. I don't want to talk to this person. I don't want to talk to this person. But maybe finally you're just like, okay, fine, I'll hear you out. Fine, I will hear you out. And it's super important that you do. Dreaming and wrong. Some of you are feeling, some of you are finally like, I've been talking for a long time about carrying around this rock, and people are like, why are you carrying a rock? It's just extra weight. But you drop it one day and it breaks open and there's a beautiful gem in it. And you're like, see, I knew there was a reason why I was carrying this around. I'm hearing that some of you guys are starting to believe the bullshit that people are like, there's nothing in the rock. And if you leave that, if you give up now, it's just, you're giving up right before the finish line. So I'm hearing for some of you, you do, even though you really do feel like you never want to talk to this person again, or you feel like you really don't want to even bother making the amends or saying sorry to that person because you don't think that they're going to accept your apology. You've got to, because whatever it is that has, like, that gem is there. Okay, that gem is there. Even though it feels like it's never going to happen. That gem is there. Being called back to the thing I've been saying for months. No matter how unlikely or impossible it seems, this thing is coming. This is coming. You've been dreaming about it for a long time for a reason. And you've known for a long time. So it's time to accept it. Some of you guys have been doing, you did that thing where you made the super crazy intricate order to the waiter. And when they came to with your order, you went, I don't want that. And the universe is just like, are you kidding me? Seriously? You spent years screaming that this is what you want. And when we give it to you, you don't want it. We don't get it. It's Mercury retrograde, my friends. If you felt like something was meant for you up until, God, when was it? When was it actually? The 27th of September, and all of a sudden you're like, nope, this isn't for me anymore. Guess what? There's a very good chance that Mercury retrograde is playing tricks on you to test you. Okay? They're testing you. Okay, fine. I will pull one more. Just one, though. Okay? They're testing you. Let's see if this will confirm what I'm saying to you. Deja vu and retreat. I'm not... White flag. Okay? See, they're very convoluted. This could go either way. Right? For some of you, and you will know who you are. For some of you, you have to run away from this thing that's going to come back. This cycle should have been left dead and gone, and you're not going to want it. Some of you guys are finally surrendering to the cycle and going, yes, okay, universe, I see that the reason why this thing keeps coming for me is because I'm running away from it, and I have to put up my hands in the air and just let it come. Put yourself where you're meant to be, okay? All right, that's it for me. I'll see you tomorrow. But until then, I'm sorry if I've made you feel a certain way or for anything you're going through. Thank you for being a beautiful being and lending your energy to this circuit that I hold so dear. Thank you to your guides, my guides, whatever energies have been involved in bringing us these beautiful, beautiful messages, clear and concise, easily deciphered for our greatest good, whether it be right now in the near or distant future. I love you to the moon and the stars and to infinity and beyond and back, and I accept this, and I hope you do too, but if not, it's all good. We'll catch you next time.